Let us believe and pray. Dear Lord and Father, thank you that you promised us that where two or three are gathered, you are there in the midst. Lord, we welcome you amongst us during today's Kimisitu Sacco Member Education Days program. Take lead and be our great teacher. I celebrate the gift of life that you have lavished upon each one of us. Thank you for all our Kimisitu Sacco members and their families. I declare blessings upon all of them. Thank you for the secretariat led by our CEO. Give them wisdom to be good stewards of the resources entrusted upon them. I also thank you for the board of management. Bless them all. I ask that you would open our ears so that we may hear your voice. Open our minds so that we may receive your eternal wisdom. Open our spirits so that we may know your leading and guidance. Open our hearts so that we may receive your wonderful love. Let this day be a success for the glory and honor of your name. We pray this believing and trusting in the glorious name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Nzioki, for leading us in our word of prayer. I will quickly want to take you through the program of the day. I'll be introducing the management team, and our chair will also be introducing the directors. Then we'll take you through Fossa services. We are all aware that we launched our Fossa last year in 2020 when we started regulation. Again, then we'll actually move to the Sarco operations and the processes that we have at the Sarco. And then we also have highlights of the products and services that we have. Then we'll take you through the alternative channels that we have in terms of payments and the digital platforms that we have. Then lastly, but not least, we'll also be able to take you through the personal financial management, just to try to help you and support you to manage how we can basically manage our funds better. So again, just for a bit of housekeeping, we have a section on your screen where we have Q&As. So we'll request that you direct your Q&As on that particular, on the Q&A section, not on the chats. So for the chats, we basically can introduce yourself on the chat. And then we have the Q&As that we'll actually be responding to as we move along. And then we'll also, at the last section, we'll also have a Q&As whereby we'll have you calling in, and we'll also, the panel will actually be there to respond to some of your queries. So again, we plan to be done by 10 a.m. And I hope that after this session, we'll have actually learned a lot in terms of what we are doing and also in terms of your personal financial development. So then allow me to introduce the management team. On the management team, we have myself, Luanga Mbeche, who is the CEO and your moderator today. We have Catherine Odhiambo, who is our credit manager. We have Purity Mtoiti, who is our finance manager. We have Jonathan Mtange, who is our marketing and business development manager. We have CPA Geoffrey Makoa, who is our internal audit. We have Doreen Otieno, who is our human resource and administration manager. We have Tobias Otieno, who is our senior procurement officer. We have Henry Abea, who is the head of our ICT. And last but not least, we have Belida Ongaki, who is our Fossa manager. So at this point, I will want to invite the chair to introduce the board and also to give an opening remarks. Welcome.
Thank you, our members.
Thank you, Director Isaac, for representing the board. Without much ado, we will go directly to the topics of today. We'll begin with the Fossa products and services. As I had mentioned, that last year we launched our Fossa, and as a requirement, all our members also have accounts at the Fossa, and this is a department or a business unit that really is helping us ensure that we have convenient services, we have seamless processes for our members. So allow me to welcome Merida Ongaki to take us through the Fossa services. Welcome, Merida.
Members of Kimisitu Sacco, Board of Directors, staff, good morning. Welcome to the 2021 member education session. We want to appreciate that you've taken your time to sit with us this morning and get updated about the developments and the services and products that the society is offering to you. This morning, I am going to take you through Fossa operations. And our takeaway today is this: what is Fossa? We need to get an understanding of what Fossa is all about. Then we are going to look at why are we running Fossa operations? And finally, what are these Fossa services that are being offered by Kimisitu Sacco? So let me start by introducing and explaining what Fossa is. Fossa stands for Front Office Service Activity. As we well know, in financial institutions, there are services that go on at the back office. I mean, you bring in a loan application and the next thing you see is a credit on your current account. So there are these services that are being done at the back office, processing of your loans. But now we have services that take place at the front office, one-on-one with the customers. And these are the services that are called Front Office Service Activity. And in the last about 12 years, SACCOs started offering front office service activities. And Kimisitu Sacco became one of these SACCOs in the year 2020. Now, SACCOs that offer front office service activities are called deposit-taking SACCOs, and they fall under the regulation of SASRA. SASRA is Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority. It was formulated under the Sacco Societies Act of 2008. So as banks are regulated by Central Bank of Kenya, SACCOs are regulated by SASRA, and specifically deposit-taking SACCOs. And as I've mentioned, deposit-taking services, SACCOs are those ones which offer front office services. Now, which are these front office services? They're basically banking activities, which include provision of savings accounts and transactional accounts. These are accounts you deposit and withdraw funds from at will. These are accounts that are linked to mobile banking, accounts that are linked to ATM cards. And these are accounts you receive services over the counter, as well as ability to transfer funds to alternative accounts through EFT and through RTGS. Now, in addition to that, through these transactional accounts, you can be able to access short-term loan facilities and also long-term loan facilities that are actually linked, that are associated with the savings accounts and current accounts that you run at the front office. So Fossa basically is like a bank, has transactional accounts. You can process your salaries, you can clear your checks, you can place standing orders in these accounts. And this is what Kimisitu Sacco also got into, put it up and is currently running. for the benefits of the members. So now we go down to specifically why Fossa? What are the benefits of having Fossa in Kimisitu Sacco? What are these benefits to the members and what are these benefits to the Sarco? The very first one is that the Fossa, since it has a savings and transactional accounts, it's a convenient saving facility. How is it convenient for you as the member? You can be deducted through checkoff a specific amount of money every month and it's credited to the savings account. And you save it for a period of time until the point of time when you need to spend this money. And the advantage is that for each amount that you have in the savings account, you will earn an interest. And these rates are very attractive for us, currently ranging from 7% to 9%. So whatever savings you have in the Fossa savings accounts, you will earn an interest annually. Then number 3, through the savings account, your salary can be processed and give you the eligibility to get salary advance, give you eligibility to get what we call Kimisitu personal loan. Later on in the presentation, I'm going to give a bit of detail on what is this salary advance, what is this Kimisitu personal loan. But these are new loan products, new loan facilities that are available to you as members as a result of having Fossa operations running. And these loan facilities come at attractive and competitive rates. Then also the Fossa gives capability to the Sarco to offer you seamless processing of funds and access to these funds in real time. What do we mean? A loan that is processed is credited to your savings account and you can immediately withdraw using your mobile phone. You can immediately withdraw using your ATM card, or even if you are in the banking hall, you can withdraw those funds over the counter. So really the Fossa is bringing convenience to you members in that whatever funds that are being paid to you from the Sarco, you can immediately access these funds in a convenient manner. So in addition to accessing the funds through mobile banking, through Visa branded ATM cards, you can also request that these funds are transferred to you, to your alternative bank account through EFT or through TGS. And if you have regular systematic payments you're making, maybe weekly, monthly, you can place a standing order from your Fossa savings account, and these amounts will be transferred to the beneficiary account as you have given instructions. And finally, all the commissions that are earned through the Fossa operations are added, they are increasing the income that the society is making and translating to higher dividend and interest to the members at the end of each year. So when really you look at, you get a facility from the society, transfer it to another institution, and then withdraw those funds from that institution. You pay a commission to withdraw those funds, but really these institutions at the end of the day don't end up sharing these commissions with you. But in the society, what is earned in terms of commission is added to the profit that is shared to the members at the end of every year. So we benefit all round, convenient saving facility, but as well as an increased income at the end of the year as a result of patronizing these services. So I'm quickly going to give a summary of the services that are offered in the Fossa department. We are going to start with the savings accounts. The very first one, most basic one, is the Fossa savings account. Fossa savings account. This is the basic account that is being run in the Fossa department. And through this account, we can process your salary. We can all the loans that are accessed from the society will be credited to the savings account, and other payments from the society, such as interest and dividend, are credited to that account. And then as members, you can immediately access over-the-counter services. You access those funds through over-the-counter services. You immediately access those funds through mobile banking, real time. You can access those funds through the ATM. You can as well request for EFT and RTGS transfers to be done from these accounts. Then, if you have a check that needs to be cleared, you can deposit it to the savings account and we'll clear that check for you. You can place a standing order, you're paying rent every month, or you are paying insurance every month. You give instructions to us, place a standing order, and we'll be transferring those funds to the beneficiary accounts as per your instructions. So these are the services that are being offered through the savings account. So whereas we can process a loan and then it takes 2-3 days to be transferred to your bank, now we'll credit it to your Fossa account and immediately you access it using your mobile phone. And through the mobile phone, actually right now you can access up to 150,000 up to 2 times a day. That means you can access up to 300,000 in a day, all right? So even if you have taken a million or 2 million, you can access these funds, you know, every day, 150,000 up to 300,000. Within a week, you've accessed your full funds, you paid off your project, and the cost per transaction is only 73.4 shillings per withdrawal of 150,000. I think this is a very, very good deal for us members of the society. Then the other account that I would like to highlight is the holiday account. This account you save regularly, you can be saving every month, specifically to fund a holiday. And Kimisitu has partnered with companies that are offering very interesting holidays, very good rates, and they'll give you very good experiences, world and destinations, including destinations out of Kenya. You want to go to Dubai, it can be organized. So save through the holiday account. You can even save through checkoff, where you instruct your employer that deduct me this amount from my holiday account every month. And at the end of the year or at the end of a particular period, you can go for your holiday and we can organize for you that holiday through the companies we have partnered with. Then we have Little Angel Savings Account. These are accounts through which you can save for your children who are below 18 years old, who are below 18 years. And you can actually involve your children in this saving activity so that you can inculcate the saving culture in the children. So you involve your children to be saving every month in this account. And at the end of a particular period, you can withdraw those funds. The children can even get even 1% of those funds to use as they wish, so that they feel how good it is to actually save for a particular item. Then we have Wekeza fixed deposit accounts. You have a large amount of sum beginning from 50,000 that you do not expect to use in the foreseeable future. You can come and fix it with us at very attractive rates that I'm going to present to you shortly. So you can place this in the fixed deposit from 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, up to 12 months. And something, an added advantage is that these funds in the Wekeza account can be used as guarantee when you are accessing a loan from the society. Then we have what we call Merida Savings Account. Just as it is named, Merida, project. You have a project coming up. You want to save towards this project. Place this money in the Merida account. Merida account is accessed twice a year. So you save for 6 months for this particular project and access these funds at the end of those 6 months, carry on your project. And the added advantage is that it will be earning an interest. So at the end of those 6 months, as you undertake your project, you have your savings plus the interest that has been earned. M-Wallet is a very interesting saving product also for you, for members. And you just place money into this account, lock it for 1 month, and earn an interest. So you want to, keep yourself from spending this amount of money for 4 weeks, because you want to, also develop that saving culture in yourself, or you want to use it for a particular project at the end of 1 month. Just through the pay bill account, put it into the M-Wallet account. It will be locked for a month. At the end of 1 month, you can withdraw that amount, and that interest prorated for that 1 month. You have locked the amount in the account, and then proceed on to carry on the project, or even renew again for another month. So these are the savings accounts that are available to you members through the Fossa department. And as members, you can patronize any of these accounts. You don't need to have only the savings account. You can have savings as well as holiday, little angels, depending on your need. And if after a particular period of time, your need for that account is done, you can close the account at no cost. Then I will expound a little bit on the loan products that are available to the members through the Fossa department. The first key one is salary advance. As I've mentioned, we can now process salaries for members. And once your salary is being processed through the Fossa account, you get access to salary advance. Salary advance is repayable within 6 months, but you can choose to take it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on the amount and depending on your need. And immediately you change your salary payment, you can be able to access this loan from the Sarco, and it is processed immediately you make that application. I have had a member come in at 4 o'clock, and by 5 o'clock, he had withdrawn his salary advance from his mobile phone. So it's a quick loan that is made available to you members. Your salary is passing through us. You get salary advance whenever you need it immediately. And then we have Kimisitu loan, which is our mobile banking loan that is offered through our mobile banking platform. So you log in to the Ussd and have the ability to apply for that loan, and it's immediately credited to you for your need. Then we have Kimisitu personal loan. Kimisitu personal loan is also made available to you if your salary is being processed through Fossa savings account. Your salary needs to have been processed through the account for a minimum of 3 months for you to be able to get this loan. Maximum repayable period is 60 months, but you can choose a shorter period depending on the amount you're applying for and how soon you intend to repay off that loan. Now, the advantage is that this loan is not based on the deposits. It's based on your ability to repay and the fact that your salary is being processed through the Fossa savings account. All right, so you have your deposits in the back office. You've taken a multiplier of 3 or 4, or you've taken up to a maximum, but your net salary allows you to borrow more funds. Deposits are fully utilized, but your salary is allowing you to get more amount in terms of loans from the Sarco. So come and patronize this product. Bring your salary to the Fossa and be able to access this loan from Fossa, which is not based on your deposits. Then we have the business loan, which is 4 times the savings that you have, repayable within 36 months. So with this, if you have your business running and the business, the monies you're receiving from your businesses are being regularly credited to your savings account, and you have a working business plan, you present that to the society, and you can be able to access a business loan. Of course, it requires the Sarco accepted security. And then we also have Chama and business loans coming up, as we are going to hear later today, about Chama and corporate accounts. You can as well access Chama and business loans once you have the Chama and corporate accounts running at Kimisitu Sacco. So you come in, open the CHAM account, open a corporate account, and after a period of time of making use of these accounts, you'll be able to access the CHAMA loans and business loans. So we are going to share a paper through our website, and it has details on the features of each of these savings accounts, the features of each of these loan products. So please check our website to get detailed information on the same. So as I've mentioned, Fossa services include over-the-counter services. You make deposits and withdrawals in cash. You can make a check payment. You can buy a banker's check over the counter. You want to pay school fees. So you can come and buy a banker's check in the name of the school and then go make payment. Or you want to pay a particular supplier, so you can come and buy a banker's check. And then we have check clearance. You have a personal check, you need to be cleared. You can credit it to the savings account and we'll clear it for you. And then we shall also be having M-Pesa services, where we are going to run M-Pesa agency through the counter. In addition to that, the mobile banking now sits in Fossa. Then we are going to have ATM cards. These are Visa branded cards that are being offered through CoBank. So we have partnered with CoBank to give members Visa branded cards. And with the cards, you can withdraw from Cooperative Bank ATM machines. You can withdraw from Visa branded ATM machines, which means you can withdraw from Standard Chartered or KCB or Equity as long as they're Visa branded. With these cards, you can swipe to make payments. You're making purchases, you can swipe these cards and make purchases, and those ones come at no cost. Then you can as well use the card to transfer money from the savings account to an alternative bank account. So instead of giving us EFT instructions, you can also use your ATM cards to actually give an instruction to transfer funds from your savings account to an alternative bank account. Then lastly, you can do online purchases. You can do online purchases from Amazon and from other online platforms to make purchases using your ATM card. The other Fossa services, as I've mentioned, is EFT, RTS, and salary processing. So what we can say is that when you're giving your EFT or RTGS instructions, we encourage you members to give us the account name, account number, bank, branch, the amount you want to transfer, and also you need to mention whether you want an EFT or an RTGS, because they are different in that an EFT takes a minimum of 3 days and it comes at 100 shillings per transaction, and an RTGS is immediate same day transaction, but comes at a cost of 600 shillings. And then of course, salary processing that I've mentioned, and I'm going to give further details as we move on. So quickly, account opening, how do you go about opening the savings account? Fossa savings account is a mandatory account now for all the members. So when new members join, they automatically get the savings account just as they get the share capital and deposit account. But for existing members who do not have Fossa savings account, the process is done through the member portal. So just log into the member portal and go to the Fossa account. You update the photo, update signature, and update any other information that may need to be changed, such as address, if you have changed your address, and then submit for approval. We'll see it on our end and we'll go ahead to activate the same. Then we have Little Angels and Holiday account. For Little Angels, the form is on our website. Just fill the form and you'll be required to attach birth certificate. And Holiday account, also the application form is on our website. Just fill, scan it and send it to us, and we'll go ahead to open for you the account, and you can make deposits into the account. For Wekeza fixed deposit, you also need to fill an application form for the same. Minimum amount is 50,000 and minimum saving duration is 1 month. So just fill the form, scan it, send it to us, and then transfer the amount to us, either to our bank account or even from your pay bill, transfer it to the savings account, give us that instruction, and we'll be able to fix that amount immediately. And as mentioned before, Merida account, the project account, the application form is also on our website. Just fill it, send it to us, then make the deposit through paybill or through bank transfer into our bank accounts. M-Wallet savings account is a very interesting account. All you need to do is deposit funds to our paybill 911-200 and account be your ID and end it with MWA. The system automatically detects a deposit, creates the account, credits the amount into that account, and locks it for 1 month. So I can even challenge you members right now. You can do that. Paybill 911-200. For account, put your ID, no spacing, put the letters MWA. Put the amount, send it to us. The account will automatically be created, the funds will be locked. At the end of 1 month, the funds will be free for withdrawal and you'll have earned an interest on it. So M-Wallet meant to be an easy saving facility. So this is a brief on the interest rates that are currently offered by the Sarco. Very attractive interest rates when you compare with the market, ranging from 7 to 9%. And for fixed deposit, the 1 month 5%, 3 months you get 6% prorated because that is an annual rate. 6 months is 7%, 12 months is 8%, and more than 12 months is 9%. And what I would like to reiterate here is that for every saving you have with us, you earn an interest. Other Fossa services, we have salary processing, as I've mentioned. There's no salary processing fee, no charges for processing your salary, and gives you eligibility to apply for salary advance and Kimisitu personal loans. How do you bring your salary to Kimisitu Sacco? On our website, we have what we call a change of pay point form. So just download the form, fill the form, and present it to the HR department of your employer, and they'll stamp that they have received that instruction. Then present that form to us, either physically or you can scan and send it to us. And we'll take those as irrevocable instructions from yourself to your employer that they should send your salary to your Fossa savings account for the foreseeable future. So at the end of every month, what then happens? After the employer has processed your salary, they remit the same to our account, and then they will give that information to us, give us the remittance advice, and give us the schedule that says this amount credited to this member as their salary. So amount is remitted to our account, and an email is sent to us saying, this is the remittance advice, this salary is meant for member A, B, C, and this amount to each of these respective members. We'll credit to your accounts. If you have accessed salary advance or if you have accessed Kimisitu personal loan, we will deduct the loan repayments from your net salary, and the balance will remain in your account so that you can be able to withdraw the same through mobile banking or ATM or any other means convenient to you. We are going to sign an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, with each employer. It's a standard document, really, that covers checkoff, deductions, and salary processing. And what this will do is that it will enable us to give you unsecured loan, because now we have an understanding that your salary is coming to Kimisitu Sacco and we'll be able to make deductions from your salary. So we'll be able to give you unsecured loans once we have this MOU signed and your salary is passing through the Fossa account. And the advantage is that now you can get loans based on your net salary coming in, and you're not 100% tied to the third rule. And also, we can give you loans outside the multiplier of the deposits, because now the loans will be based on your salary and your ability to repay, and not on the amount of deposits that you have. So as my final remarks, in conclusion, of this session is that Kimisitu Sacco is ensuring that we become a one-stop shop for your financial needs. One-stop shop. You need big loans, you can take loans from the back office. You need short-term loans, you can access them from the Fossa savings account or through the Fossa department. One-stop shop for you for all your financial needs. Now, we offer very, very, very competitive rates. When you look at the rates at which you're giving our services and what is being offered out there in the market, salary processing, we do not charge for that, nil. Over the counter up to 300,000 is 100 shillings. Above 300,000 is 200 shillings. You realize, members, when you go to make an over-the-counter withdrawal at a bank, you're told to buy a check, purchase a check, and then use that check to make an over-the-counter withdrawal. We do not have those requirements. And our rate is just 100 shillings and 200 shillings, very, very friendly rates. Then we have mobile banking. As I mentioned before, you can withdraw 150,000 twice in a day. And each of these transactions is only 73.4 shillings. That is a very pocket-friendly rate. For ATM charges, you go to a cooperative bank ATM machine, per withdrawal is only 36 shillings, and that is inclusive of excise duty. For Visa branded ATM, it's 240. To make purchases is nil. So we are matching up to what the market charges for each of these activities. For EFT transfers, it's only 120 shillings. For RTGS, it's only 600 shillings. And for loan disbursement fee of 120 inclusive of excise duty. So really, members, these are very friendly rates for your pockets. And we need to remember that this commission earned is added to the income of the society, is shared to you at the end of the year as dividend and interest. So I look forward to working with you, members. I look forward to you patronizing the Fossa services. Please go out and spread the word to all our members that we now have Fossa. Let us patronize our Fossa and let us enjoy the services that are being offered through the Fossa department. Thank you very much, and God bless you as we go on with the other presentations. Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda, for that insightful presentation, and it's very detailed and comprehensive. So again, what we're actually saying is that Fossa is actually your bank as a member. I'll actually be asking myself, and we've asked questions, we've actually heard from members, or members been asking, why do I have to another account at Fossa at Kimisitu while I have my other bank account? So you remember Kimisitu, you own Kimisitu, and patronizing this from the Fossa means that you're actually building your own business. You're actually, able, any earnings that will actually coming in from Fossa, basically will actually get to you in terms of interest on deposits, and then again for the growth, also for the revenues for the Sarco, which is basically for your benefit. So I think it's important that we patronize the products that we have. Currently, for the existing members, we have over 90% of our membership who already have activated their accounts at Fossa and are enjoying the Fossa services. So we request again less than 10% of the members to actually take advantage of this, activate their accounts at Fossa and enjoy the services, seamless services that we have. So again, for the new members who are actually coming in, the accounts are automatically created for them, and therefore they already have accounts at Fossa. So I think this, we've actually also had from the Fossa manager in terms of the interest that members earn from Fossa. Comparatively, we have competitive interest, and we've actually given a range between 7 to 9%, again, depending with the period under which you investing your money in the product. So I think that's a very good rate. And other than that, on top of that, remember every year, at the end of every year, as members, we also earn interest on deposit, and we also earn a dividend. So if you look at the range, that will give you between 8 and 11% that you're earning. So this will only be possible if, as members, we are able to patronize this and actually take Fossa as our own bank. And remember, in the earlier presentation, what we were looking at was that Fossa is a bank, but as a Fossa, we are regulated by SASRA. Other banking institutions are regulated by the central bank. So I think, so there's the same thing that other banks do, that we do, and it'll be our pride and also be your pride that you fully own and you only patronize the products that we have at Fossa. We have a range of products that are actually being shared right from we're starting to teach our children, make our children learn how to save. From the little angels, we instead of for planning purposes, we have our kids in school. So instead of taking school fees loan, we can utilize this, keep some money in these products that can actually help us this. Again, when you're going for holiday, you want to go for holiday because again, when we're presenting about the personal finance management, we'll touch a bit on the hierarchy of needs, and to realize that you need to get to a point where you also need to relax. And again, it's important that if you relax actually with the money that with the savings that you've actually put in there. So again, if you're planning for holiday, it's actually important that you patronize the holiday product at Fossa. Wekesa, we've actually talked about it. We have projects that we run as members. So again, we've mentioned Merida savings and Merida savings. So again, when in business, again, the business loans from last year, this year AGM, we approved that we bring in chairmans and also we bring in corporate. So again, these are platforms that the Sarco will actually help us do. Now, in terms of the Ussd, which I think earlier this year was a challenge, what we've done is that we are currently piloting our own Ussd, and therefore that will mean that the payment system will be seamless. So within the next 2 weeks, on maximum, we'll actually be launching it officially for the members to actually utilize it. It's very friendly. And then at some point in the production, we'll be doing the alternative channels. We'll actually be able to learn about it. So thank you very much. Just a bit of housekeeping from the new members who have joined just now is that we have a session for question Q&As at the end of the presentations. But again, we also have, for those who actually want to put it there now, we are answering them live. We have a Q&A button there. So let's not use chat, but go to the Q&A, put in your question there, and then it'll be responded to immediately. So thank you very much. I hope you'll continue enjoying this. We'll have our next presentation, and our next presentation will be Sarco operations and processes. We'll be looking at the debt management procedures. We'll also be looking at the loan processes, and also we'll be talking about the undetermined remittance. So thank you. Welcome, Catherine. Let me take this opportunity to welcome Catherine Odhiambo, who is our credit manager, who will actually be taking us through that presentation. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you, CEO. My name is Catherine Odhiambo. I'm the head of credit, Kimisitu Sacco. I'll be taking you through the credit administration and debt management. In matters for discussion, we are going to discuss on loan processes, remittances, arrears, and default management. On online loan application, when one wants to apply for a loan, we are requesting that they log in into the web portal. From the web portal, they go to the online loan hub, and thereafter click on loan application, select on the loan type. On the loan type, that means that it can be a short-term loan or a long-term loan. Short-term is usually dividend discounting, instant. Long-term is special development, normal development, premier loans. Those are the long-term loans. After choosing the loan, you input your personal details. That is your names, your employer details, if you are self-employed, the loan details, the loans that you want in terms of the repayment. After you input those ones, you click on apply loan. You upload the necessary documents, which include the certified payslip, certified bank statement, employer confirmation. Those are very important. After that part, you go to the field guarantor details part, whereby you'll input the guarantor's ID number. After you put the guarantors, that means that you have to talk to these guarantors earlier to give you their details. Then once you input it, you're able to click on add guarantor. Immediately that guarantor will get an SMS informing them that you've requested them to guarantee you. So they'll go to their portal and accept that guarantorship by inputting the amount that they are wishing to guarantee you. Once they guarantee, you'll also get an SMS informing you that the loan has been guaranteed. When the loan has sufficient guarantors, you'll go ahead and submit the loan for processing. Note that if you don't submit the loan, we cannot process it from this end. We've had a number of complaints of members saying that loans are taking long. They apply online, but they don't submit. So that one has really affected in terms of the loan turnaround time, whereby a member is expecting funds only for us to realize that they applied online, but that loan was never submitted for processing. So you must ensure that you get that SMS that says that your loan has been submitted for process. During the loan process, if there's any issue regarding that loan, we'll communicate through email, through phone call. Most of the issues that affect members in terms of loan application, when the documents that have been uploaded are not sufficient, like if the payslip is not certified, that might cause delays. If the employer confirmation is not included, that might affect. Also, when the member's deposit is dormant, that means that the member has not been contributing. When the member is in arrears, that means that the loan payments are not according to the schedule. And also when the member has defaulted on Kimisitu, we've had a number of instances where members default on Kimisitu. So when they come for loans, they can't be able to get until that Kimisitu is paid. In spite of us offsetting it from your deposits, you have to return because that was a loan that was to be paid. There's also the issue of negative CRB listing. So we urge you members, ensure that you will repay your loans, that you borrow even from other financial institutions, as it could affect your loan process. In terms of collateral processes, the member is expected to submit the required documents. After we receive, the asset will be valued. After the valuation, the loan will be appraised and approved. For a motor vehicle, once it's approved, we'll attach a tracking device on the vehicle. Then the registration, that is the joint registration, will be done. That is for the logbook to be co-owned by the Sarco and the applicant. The process takes around 7 days, unless there is any delay from any end. It could be from, like we have valuers who expect that the member will take the vehicle to be valued. So when there's a delay in that, it causes delay. We also have the joint registration. Sometimes you log online because it's done through the NTSA teams. So there are some instances where there are some delays in that. So we request you members, when you make an application, kindly be available for us to be able to process the loan as soon as possible. Then we have the land and building, where after the loan has been approved, the title is charged to the Sarco. This means that we get a lawyer who does the due diligence for the Sarco just to confirm that the land indeed is yours, or if you are purchasing it, to confirm that indeed the land is for that owner, the person who is selling it for you. The process takes between 1 to 3 months, and there are some that even more, because if there are some instances where if we hear that the file at the land registry is missing, And especially the Nairobi registry, as we've had some challenges, and the lawyers also have informed accordingly, informed the member. The members are usually updated accordingly on the same. However, when the process is seamless, the lawyers are able to give us a letter of comfort, that is indemnity letter, which allows us to pay off the loan, to pay the member as we wait for the process to continue. But however, when the file is not traced, they are usually not very comfortable giving that letter of comfort, because it will mean that they could also suffer loss in case the file is not traced, and in case in terms of their due diligence, they had not confirmed everything. Then once loan is appraised, approved, and disbursed, we are going to start disbursing our loans through the Fossa account. That means that all loans will go through our Fossa account. And from the Fossa, the member can be able to access the funds through the Ussd, through the Sarco upcoming Sacco mobile app, through requests from members. The members can still request that the funds are transferred to them, to their banks. And also they're also free to come to the office, into the Fossa banking hall, and withdraw the cash. We've also introduced chattels, which are movable assets that can be used to secure a loan facility. This is to provide backup for guarantors in event of default. We had approved a chattel such as motor vehicles, that these are over 8 years, because currently motor vehicles 8 years and below, the Sarco accept them as collateral. But for chattels, it will be any motor vehicle above 8 years. So this will act as a backup, and also plant and machinery. So when a member who wishes to take a loan comes to you to guarantee you, and you know that they have a motor vehicle, they have some, you know that they have some machinery, as guarantor, you can also ask them kindly offer this also to be a backup for that loan that you are taking. So what the member will do is to register that asset through the eCitizen portal and provide the Sarco with the necessary ownership documents. So with the documents, you can be able to send a valuer to value the asset, and after that, we'll get a report on email and we'll continue the process. The member will also be expected to fill a letter of offer upon approval of the loan. So this chattel will help in terms of, sometimes we have members who have challenges getting guarantors. But if you have something already stating that I have this asset, it's only that the Sarco does not accept it as collateral. However, the Sarco can be able to accept it as a backup. The member will be comfortable to guarantee you. Then under debt management, loans in arrears. Arrears means loans which have missed an installment. So it means that if you missed installment for even a month, and you've also noted sometimes when you delay even 1 day, your loan shows that is in arrears. And loan in default is the one that one has missed installment for 3 months or 3 months installment. It could be due to non-payment or due to underpayment, whereby a person is paying maybe half. If you pay half for 6 months already, you'll be under default because you'll have missed installment for 3 months. So we are enhancing our communication for us to be more effective, whereby we are automating the process, the communication process. So if a member misses an installment, by 5th of every month, we'll be giving, they'll receive an SMS and we'll give them a notice to pay within 7 days, the arrears. And if no payment is received, then we'll go ahead and send an SMS to the guarantors. If there's no payment received in the 2nd month, we'll send an SMS as well as an email to the loanee and the guarantors. We want the guarantors to be aware from the first moment that an installment is missed, so that they can also assist us. They are your friends. Your guarantors are usually your friends. They're people that you know. So we want that engagement with ourselves, the Sarco, the member, and the guarantors, so that the loans are paid on timely basis. Then on the 3rd month, that is the 90th day of non-payment, the loan will be deemed to be in default. We'll send an SMS and email to the loanee and the guarantors, and we'll notify them of the recovery of the guarantors' deposits within 7 days if no payment is received. At the lapse of the 7 days, the deposits of the guarantors, the loan will be recovered from the guarantors, as well as the deposits of the loanee. So we are therefore requesting the members during this period, let's engage guarantors. When you get communication, please let's engage. We've had instances where the members get communication that one is defaulting, but they are not communicating. They only communicate once you have set the account, and that is it's usually too late. Especially you'll find that they're communicating that this guy left employment, he was paid his benefits. If that communication could have come earlier, the Sarco as well as the guarantors would have been able to ensure that the person pays the loan to the Sarco, so the loan is not defaulted. So with enhanced communication, we expect the Sarco, the member, the guarantors to work together to ensure that we are communicating and loans are being paid accordingly. We also have the guarantor liability. As you are aware, we used to transfer defaulted loans to the guarantors by giving them directly a guarantor liability loan. We have reviewed this loan. Reason being that this loan was never secured. You find that it is just transferred to you. And there are a number of members, about 50% of members whom we transferred GLL to are not paying. So this means that this loan was eating into the Sarco income as we were providing for these loans. So it was eating into the Sarco's income by the provisions, as they were considered to be loans and a loss because they were not applied accordingly. They had no security, and therefore we have reviewed it, and we'll expect members who want to pay defaulted loans through installment to fill loan forms, either online, to provide bank statements or pay slips for appraisal, and also provide the security required. It can either be a collateral or a guarantor, but the loan will have to be secured. The GLL, that is the guarantor liability loan, can be paid through check-off, through standing order, through direct deposits, and also through M-Pesa Sarco Pay Bill account. In event of default of the guarantor liability loan, it will be recovered from the security offered. Note that we are not going to charge you any interest on this loan, and the repayment period will be the remaining period for the defaulted loan. That means that if you guaranteed a 72 months loan, the person had paid for 2 years, 24 months, you'll pay for that remaining period, 48 months that was remaining. In terms of defaulted loans secured by vehicle collateral, the Sarco usually repossess the vehicle. After that, through auctioneers who we have pre-qualified, it is towed to the storage yard. Once it's been towed, the owner, that is the loan applicant, is expected to clear the arrears. If they clear the arrears and the repossession fees, we give back the vehicle. If the arrears are not cleared, the vehicle is revalued again so that the Sarco can get a reserve price, and the vehicle is advertised in the local daily newspaper, and the vehicle is auctioned. And the accepted bid must be above the reserve value. So we don't want our members to lose in terms of auctioning their properties at a low value, but to ensure that it's revalued and we sell them at a not lower than the reserve value. If it is land, we give the necessary notices through our Sarco lawyer. And if no payments is received within the notice period, we instruct auctioneers to advertise the property. That advertisement usually we give the 14 days window period for the member to redeem the property. Redeeming means paying their arrears so that we don't continue the auction. If it's not done, then you have to sell the property via auction or through private treaty as advised by the auctioneer. Upon the disposal of the asset, the amount will be paid, will be posted towards the member's account to reduce the loan, to clear the loan. Any balance that is remaining will be paid back to the guarantors. And if there's any money, any other cost related to the disposal is also deducted from the same funds. And any other money, let's say if the loan was 1 million and we managed to sell it at 1.5 and be able to get all the costs and to return to the guarantors, we'll be able to refund the defaulter. Note that all costs related to disposal are borne by the member or the defaulter. If the defaulter starts paying the amount, we receive it, we post it into his account. That is the defaulter's account. After that, we transfer it to the guarantors who are deducted based on the proportions that they were deducted. Usually, if any person who if it was 1 million and there's someone who guaranteed you 500,000, another one 300,000, another one 200,000, we'll divide it according to what the guarantors paid. And the member can also be allowed to continue the membership once they've paid off the defaulted loans. And as a Sarco, for us to support guarantors, especially in the of default, we have now introduced the charters, which will act as a second backup for loans. We have the enhanced communication to members and guarantors. We've also been organizing meetings between defaulters and guarantors for way forward, and those discussions have borne fruit. We also have debt collectors who we put to follow up the defaulters. We also encourage guarantors to share the information on the whereabouts of the defaulters. So that marks the end of my presentation. Once again, I appreciate you. I appreciate your attending this education day, and also for the support that you've given us as a Sarco. Please feel free to give your questions so that you can be able to answer them later. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine, for that presentation. I think Catherine has touched areas that are very sensitive to us. We know the issue of default management is very critical, both for us as a Sarco and also for us members. And she's actually stated some of the initiatives that we are actually using to ensure that we partner in this, to ensure that nobody loses. So we've had several online meetings with the defaulters and also for the guarantors to look for a common solution. And there are instances where we have succeeded. And the most important thing is that the communication, we start communication early with the members so that they are actually aware from the point that the loan falls in arrears, and not to wait until a default level, so that we can actually be able to cure this. And then we also, I think also it was important to note the guarantor liability loan, the shift that has been made on that, because ideally what it means and what she was saying was that for the guarantor liability loan, at that point, any defaulted loan that was transferred to guarantor liability loans, it meant 100% loss. It's a complete 100% loss for the Sarco. So again, sometimes we will actually transfer it to the member, and you realize the members do not have ability to actually pay. And then again, we have initiated a process in terms of how we'll actually get there. So again, from the presentations, we've also heard about the online loan processing or the online loan application, and we are happy that over 95% of the applications that we're actually getting currently are through online platforms. So we're moving paperless, and we've also we've implemented that electronic data management system that is actually in place to help us to do that. And of course, given our name of Kimisitu, where we are focusing again, our name focuses on environmental conservation. And when you go paperless, again, that means that we are living to our name. So those are the areas that had been there. So again, it's important, as Neo and I can see new members are still joining, people are still joining the webinar. So kindly share your question in the Q&A section, not on the chats, so that now we have a live responses that are actually going on. And at some point when we'll be having the panel, we may also have time to respond to some of them. So allow me, we are moving into the next presenter, and we'll be looking at the undetermined remittances, and also we'll be having some information on UFA, that is Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, and what undetermined remittance means, and also the implication in terms of UFA. And again, when we'll be doing the personal finance management, you'll realize that it's important that we account, or every member, or all of us, each must account for every cent that we actually put in the Sacco. Therefore, it's important that we don't bring money to the Sacco, we don't deposit money in the Sacco, and then it's lying there for over 4 years before it's actually created the right account. And mentioning that, just to get the magnitude of this, we have over 5.4 million in the unremitted and undetermined remittances, and that is why this is very important. And also, the presenter will be able to tell us in terms of some of the initiatives that we've actually put in place to actually ensure that we'll be able to reduce this further. So allow me to welcome Madam Purity Ntoiti, our finance manager, to take us through the undetermined remittance. Welcome, Purity.
Thank you, CEO. Good morning, members. My name is Purity Ntoiti. I'll be taking you through the undetermined remittances. So what is an undetermined remittance? An undetermined remittance is a deposit that has been made to the Kimisitu Sacco accounts, but the owner cannot be identified through the records that we have, because either the member number is missing, or ID, or the document that they use to register in Kimisitu, maybe the passport. And also maybe the names that have been provided in the deposit slip do not match the names that we have in our records. For example, my name is Purity Queen Toiti, but when I make a deposit, I put the names Purity Kui only. So when we check in our records, we could have 10 people called Purity Kui. So for this purpose, we are not able to update this record because the names that have been provided cannot be traced to any one particular member. We also have members who join in organizations and they want to join Kimisitu Sacco. So they approach their payroll officers, or they have been introduced through you members, and they start being deducted monies to come to Kimisitu Sacco. So these members, they join through the payroll, but they have not submitted any document for us to be able to register them as members. This money also forms part of undetermined remittances. So what happens when you receive money that you're not able to identify who is the owner? So when we receive this money, we put that money in a collection account called undetermined receipts. This money sits there until such a day that the member provides a deposit slip or a bank remittance, proving that that deposit was made by them and that the money belongs to them. Once we receive this proof of payment or proof through the deposit slip, then we update the member's records. Also, with the new regulation of the Unclaimed Financial Asset Authority, the requirement is that any money that we receive that we cannot be able to allocate to the owner, or we cannot be able to identify to the owner, the law allows us to have that money for a period of 5 years as we try to get in touch or locate the owner. If the owner is not located within that period, then this money is given back to the government with a list of how the money appeared in the bank statements, and then the custody is given to the government. So what happens when we have remitted this money to the government and the owner wants the money, actually they can prove that they are the ones who gave that money to Kimisitu Sacco. What will happen is that the person who remitted the money can come to Kimisitu Sacco, will give a letter introducing them at UFA, and they'll be able to follow up with UFA, and UFA will be able to give back their deposit. So what is the Sacco? What is the Sacco doing to help us know if our funds are already receipted? Every month on 10th, we share your bank statement in your personal emails, and you are able to check your statement to see if every deposit that you have made to the Sacco has been updated. Or when you remit any funds to us and you have receipted, you get an SMS notification telling you that the money has been received and updated in your accounts. The list of undetermined remittances that we have also is shared in the members web portal every month, and you can check and see if there's any deposit that you made or send someone to make a deposit for you and that deposit was never updated. Once you identify your remittance and see that it is part of the undetermined remittances, then you get the deposit slip or prove that actually this deposit was made on my behalf. You send that proof to Kimisitu Sacco email, and you'll be able to update your records accordingly. The members also have an access full-time to our web portal, and you can be able to check your deposits, your loans, and see if they have been updated as regularly as you have made your deposits. As alluded by other speakers before, we are also going live with our Kimisitu app, whereby you can be able to query your balances any time of day. And especially once you have made a deposit and it's updated, then you can actually query the balance that you have in any of our accounts, and you'll be able to get the updated account. And if that account has not been updated in accordance to your will, then you can communicate to us and we'll be able to make the corrections or update your records accordingly. So members would be asking, what do I stand to lose if my receipt is undetermined or it was not updated as expected? Now, our interest on deposits is usually calculated on a pro rata basis. This means that the earlier we receive the money, the more interest that you're going to earn. For example, a deposit that was received in January will earn a total of 12 months, whereas a deposit that has been received in August will earn for 4 months. So if your money was deposited in January and we are not able to trace it to you and we have been holding it in undetermined, the day that you prove that that deposit belongs to you is the day that it is updated. So you are going to lose the period that we are not able to actually trace that money to you. Then you also access loans based on the number of deposits or the amount of deposits that you have. For example, if your money has been in undetermined, like for 2 months, and you have come for a loan and that money was not part of the deposits and you wanted a multiplier of 3, then it gives you a less qualification of the loan because the deposit is not updated in, as part of your deposits. Then the other thing that you stand to lose is that your account also becomes dormant. And once you have paid the deposit to cover the period of dormancy into the account, or when you come for a loan or any service in the Sacco, then you'll be required to update your account so that you can activate your account, whereas the money has always been sitting in the undetermined accounts. So what do you do to avoid your funds being part of the undetermined accounts? We advise that members, when you're making deposits, please ensure that you indicate your member number and ID number. Those are key identifiers and they're unique to you. And with this, we'll be able to identify who has made the deposit and you'll be able to update your records accordingly. Also, there are people who make deposits through EFTs or RTGSs, the same applies. If you are going to make through RTGS or EFT, please indicate your member number and ID number. And when you're indicating this, do not start with your names or other instructions that you have. Like for example, if you are paying a loan, do not start the instructions with the loan repayment, but start with your ID number. Reason is the bank statements have a number of characters that they can capture. So if all these details are so many, the first few details are what are captured. And if you just say it's a loan repayment, they will capture loan repayment, but your ID number or the member number will not appear, and will have challenges identifying these deposits. So ensure every other time you're giving part of other narrations, your ID number or your member number starts as part of the instructions. Once you have done the deposit correctly, kindly share the copy of the deposit slip or the copy of the instructions to the bank for us to be able to update your records immediately. You also have the chance to check your statements regularly in our web portal, and you can be able to check if all the deposits that you have made have been updated, and you can communicate to us just in case there is anything that is missing. Also, you can, when you send friends, relatives, or any person to make a deposit on your behalf, ensure that they do not capture their details in the deposit slip, but rather your details. We have had experiences where diaspora members send their friends, or they give money to people who are here in Kenya to make their deposits. But when they make the deposit, they put in their details instead of the member's details. Kindly, when you send someone, ensure that you give instructions in terms of your member number and your ID number so that the deposits are captured correctly. Thank you, dear members. We hope that all your deposits will be updated as soon as you make the deposits, because you have made the correct, you have given the correct information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Purity, for that presentation on undetermined remittances. And members, we must ensure that we account for the monies that you've deposited into our account. So it's important that we have these details. I know we also, as a Sarco, we have also been, we're also working on some initiatives to just ensure that we minimize this. We currently working on the bank integration with our banks, so that just to ensure that we make sure all the details are captured. And as we'll be seeing when we'll be presenting our upcoming Ussd and the mobile app, the challenge that we might have again before was having the codes in mind, and the process will have been completed because of the coding. But now with the own app and Ussd, it's gonna be very easy for the members to actually also do your instructions from wherever you are, rather than even doing email, but you basically be able to have it processed by yourself. So it's important that for now we ensure we normally share statements with the members every 10th of the month. We can also be able to access our statements anytime that you want from the portal, so that you check when you make a payment, you just confirm that the payment is updated, just in case the details were not captured. We've had instances where a member will send a rider to the bank to actually make a deposit. And what the rider will do is that they'll put their mobile number. So when we actually trying to reach out, thinking that this could be our member, then we realize that the person is not even aware, the person we are calling is not even aware that there was a deposit that was made, and his phone indicated on the form. So I think it's important that we try to ensure that the monies that we send to the Sarco are updated and properly documented. So we are moving to our next presentation, and our next presentation we'll be looking at highlights of the Sarco products and services. We have a number of products, which again we'll just request the members to also access on our website. But again, there's some that we'll want to highlight for the members, what we think really will going to add value to the members. And we are looking at the Macau Alisi loan, whereby we want members to own their own houses. We want members to own property. So that is a very good product that, and again, the rates that we are offering is quite affordable. We are doing 1% per month. That is 12% per annum, without any additional cost, except for the valuation fees and the legal fees that the member will pay. But again, you realize that we finance as this 5%. So these are very good avenue, and as presenter will be coming in, so far we have done over 348 million. And again, for financial security for our members, it's important that we actually own property, whether you're in business or whether you own salary. It's actually important to really protect you in future. So again, in the presentation, we also be looking at, currently we are running a promotion. Also, we'll have an update in terms of what is going on. We also aware that the members approved that we form a Kimisitu Insurance Agency, which we did. So we have various products again that we offer at that level that we'll actually want to highlight to our members, and you can also benefit from this. So allow me to welcome Mr. Jonathan Mtange, who is our Marketing and Business Development Manager, who will be taking us through the session. Welcome, Jonathan.
Okay, thank you so much, CEO. My name is Jonathan Asena. I'm the Marketing and the Business Development Manager for Kimisitu Sacco. I'm happy to take you today through the product highlights. So the objective of this particular presentation is to ensure that by the end of this presentation, we'll be able to demystify Sacco membership composition. Number two, we will be able to understand Sacco Bossa products. Number three, as a member, ensure that by the end of this presentation, you understand the products offered under Kimisitu Insurance Agency. Then the other objective, ensure that by the end of my presentation, you understand some of the Sacco partnerships that we have and how you stand to benefit as a member. And last but not least, we'll have a session for general Sacco information. So to start with, I want to talk about Kimisitu Sacco membership composition. Now, during our just concluded AGM in February, you members passed the resolution to introduce two more categories of membership. That is corporate membership and chama membership. So that means that currently Kimisitu Sacco has got three categories of membership. Number one being individual membership. And under individual membership, these are employees of NGOs, international organizations, embassies, and other reputable organizations that we've so far managed to onboard. Currently, Kimisitu Sacco has got more than 400 member organizations that cuts across all these sectors. And some of the features for the individual membership is that for you to come in, you need to pay an entrance fee of 1,000. You need to be contributing a minimum monthly deposit of a minimum of 3,000 shillings. And for the share capital contribution, the minimum required as you join is Kenyan shillings 5,000, which then you're supposed to continue contributing progressively until you achieve 30,000. Of course, now we look at your other KYC documentation. Still under individual membership is that we have also introduced individuals in business. So we are saying we are also allowing individuals in reputable businesses. They can also be able to join Kimisitu Sacco. So if you have friends, colleagues who are doing businesses, they can be able to demonstrate that they have the ability to contribute our minimum contributions. Then we can also allow individuals in business also to join. The second category of membership for Kimisitu Sacco is corporate membership. Now, what does corporate membership mean? These are reputable firms, companies, or other registered institutions or registered businesses. So here we are talking of any type of corporate that has a registration certificate. So if you have a registered corporate entity, whether it's a business, it's a firm, it's a company, you can now be able to join Kimisitu Sacco. And some of the things we'll be looking at is that your entrance fee for a corporate member shall be 2,000 shillings. This corporate membership category shall be required to contribute a minimum of 10,000 deposits per month. And their minimum required share capital shall be 10,000, which then again should be increased progressively until you achieve the 30,000. So as I've mentioned, we'll look at the registration documents and the proprietors, whether it's a sole proprietor or it's directors for a company. Last but not least, the third category of membership for Kimisitu Sacco is Chama membership. So as you are aware, once you voted for this one, it means that Kimisitu will now be able to onboard Chama members. And what is a Chama? So basically here we are looking at investment groups. It could be welfare groups. We all know the different types of welfare groups that are available, e.g. self-help groups, we have women groups, we have youth groups. Also, we are also going to allow for unregistered groups to join our membership for Chama. And some of the things that we are going to look at is that number one, the Chama members will pay an entrance fee of 2,000. Number two is that the Chama will need to contribute a minimum deposit, monthly deposit contribution of 10,000. And the share capital is going to be Kenyan shillings 10,000, which then again we will need to see this contributed consistently every month until they achieve the minimum of 30,000. So depending with the type of the Chama, whether it's an investment company or a social group or not, or an unregistered group, we shall look at the type of the registration to determine the documents that we look at, whether they have the registration documents. And I know you'd be asking yourself, what about the unregistered Chamas? So for the unregistered Chamas, basically we are talking of a minimum of 3 people. So for you to join Kimisitu Chama membership and you are not registered, you need to be at least a minimum of 3 members. So how to join Chama membership is that one of the Chama members will have to be a member of Kimisitu Sacco. So if, for example, today, Jonathan, I'm a member of Jonathan Investment Chama, which has got 30 members, I am the one who is going to introduce the Chama to Kimisitu Sacco. So we'll only allow Chamas which have been introduced by members of Kimisitu. So we look at the back office, which is Fossa products. Fossa stands for back office service activity. And back office, we can allow you to borrow against your deposits because the deposits are held at the back office. We can also buy off bank loans and other Sacco loans. So if you have a bank loan, or you want to move from another Sacco to Kimisitu, we are able to buy off those kind of loans. So just to give you a highlight, we look at some of the main products that we have at Kimisitu Sacco in back office. And as you are all aware, we relaunched our Macau Halisi loan product, which is basically a property, housing, and mortgage product. And if you look at these features, this is one of the products in the industry which is leading. We benchmark ourselves against some of the giants like KCB and Housing Finance. And our members through this product are able to, number one, buy land. Number two, they can be able to construct either residential or commercial homes. Or alternatively, for those of us who like to buy ready houses, you can buy a house, whether it's residential or whether it's a commercial building. You can also be able to facilitate you. Now, the minimum amount you can borrow for Makao Halisi is 500,000. And the maximum you can borrow, which is the maximum statutory limit for a borrower, for Kimisitu Sacco borrower, is 30 million. Then again, one unique feature here, you see that the multiplier is 7 times of your deposits. So that means today, if you have 100,000, you can buy a property of 700,000. Or rather, for that sake, if you have 1 million, you can buy a property of 7 million Kenyan shillings. The security for this type of facility is the title deed of that property, or the sublease for those ones who like buying apartments. Our members in Nairobi, probably if you are buying apartments, the sublease will be the security for this product. Then again, the interest rate is 1% per month on a reducing balance. So that means we are talking of 12% per annum on a reducing balance. There are no application charges. There are no hidden charges. So remember, we are saying that under Makao Halisi, we can finance you up to 105%. So what that basically means is that if your house is costing 10 million and you have the legal process, the valuation, because if you're buying land, it has to be transferred from the seller to yourself, the same for the house, and it has to be charged as a collateral in favor of Kimisitu Sacco. So we are going to finance all those charges and let you just relax and pay the loan. So far, since we launched this product, we have managed, our members have been able to borrow up to a tune of 348 million. So the question you need to ask yourself today, members, is do you own a land? Do you have a house, your own house? Or if you have your own house, do you have rentals which can bring you income? If the answer is no, then this product is designed for you. So I see there are a lot of concerns around the chama. So I'll just repeat one more time. I'll talk about chama membership. So during the concluded AGM, you're all aware that you voted for the resolution to introduce a chama membership. And what is a chama to Kimisitu Sacco? So we shall be onboarding investment chamas, which are basically investment groups. The other category is welfare groups. And the welfare groups is composed of groups like women groups, youth groups, self-help groups. And the other category also is unregistered groups. So how you join Kimisitu Sacco is that, number one, you shall pay an entrance fee of 2,000 shillings. Then we will require you to contribute a monthly minimum deposit of 10,000. We shall also require you, as you join, to contribute a minimum share capital of 10,000, which you should be consistently contributing on a monthly basis so that you can achieve the 30,000. We will look at the registration documents for the different types of chamas. So if it's, for example, if it's an investment group, we look at the certificate of incorporation, the CR12, the details for the directors and what have you. If it is an unregistered group, we will look at the documentation, the identification documentation for the chama members. And for you to open a chama membership, you need to be a minimum of three people. Out of the 3 or more in your chama, one has to be a member of Kimisitu Sacco to introduce the chama. So if you have those chamas, you can be able to join Kimisitu Sacco. So one thing to mention about the chama and the corporate membership that we talked about is that we are currently almost through with the products and the services. So we will be announcing this later in the month, by the end of the month. So keep watching. There are so many products. They are very exciting products that we have for you under those categories. So I will proceed with the mortgage loan. If you also have a mortgage facility in the banking, we are also able to buy off that mortgage. Remember, I mentioned that Kimisitu Sacco does not have a loan application and credit evaluation fees, which you would probably find in the banks. So instead of paying those expensive mortgages, you can bring it to Kimisitu Sacco. We also do what is called incremental housing. So basically, sometimes you find that Jonathan, I have a vision of building a mansionette of 7 bedrooms. But my current ability allows me to do a mansionette of 3 bedrooms. So we can work with you step by step, build for you in stages according to the bill of quantities, which will have been prepared by the quantity surveyor, until you finally achieve that dream home that you desire. So we'll move to the next presentation. We are going to look at the ongoing promotion, loan promotion. We're all aware that we're having the normal development promotion, which we extended the offer. So the offer is running up to the end of this month, that is 30th June. So what this facility can do is that, number one, it can clear Sarco loans. And I want you to note the type of loans that the normal development promotion can clear. Number one, it can clear normal development loan. It can clear special development loan. It can clear emergency loan. It can clear education loan, and it can also clear bank loans. So if you have these loans at the Sarco, and probably you'd like to consolidate your facilities, get a longer period of 72 months at an interest of 1% per month on a received balance, you can be able to apply for this facility and get up to 4 times of your deposits. So what basically this does is that it brings together all your facilities into one loan. We give you, we stretch the period to 72 months so that you can have enough room to breathe. And if you want to some amount on top of the loan, because we are giving you up to 4 times, you can be able to apply for more and remain with something. So for this facilitation, we'll charge you a bridging fee of 5%. And this facility, so that we can also mention to our friends who are not here, this facility is available to current members who have the above loans and also new members. So if you are a new member who has been in the Sarco for 6 months, you can be able to qualify for this facility. So we'll look at Kimisitu Insurance Agency. So members, you're all aware that we launched our own insurance agency called the Kimisitu Insurance Agency. And under this, we are able to offer insurance products, both for members and also non-members. So these are some of the products that we have. Number one, we have a medical cover. So under medical cover, basically we are providing a medical facility for both individuals as well as corporates. So as an individual, you can come in for a medical cover, or if you want to introduce your organization so that they can get a medical cover, we are able to negotiate the rates for you. And we will be sharing this on our website for more information. We also have the motor vehicle cover, and we are offering a motor vehicle insurance for only 3.5% for of the value of the motor vehicle. So if you have a vehicle and you need insurance, you can get that under Kimisitu Insurance Agency. Remember, members, the advantage of taking this through your Sarco is that the Sarco has a resource. So when it comes to making your claims, it becomes much easier to deal with somebody, or rather an agent that you can rely on. Number 3, and most famous, we have the shoulder of solace. The shoulder of solace is basically a last expense funeral cover. We have received so many testimonials from you members who have benefited. And you understand that we have very affordable premiums, which range from 3,100. We have a premium of a category for 6,200, another one for 9,200, and another one for 15,300. And basically, we are able to cover your funeral expenses. So these days, you need to be aware that we are no longer in the age whereby you do harambes during your funeral. Just take this cover, the Shoulder of Solace under Kimisitu Sacco. Let us accord you a very decent send-off for your family members without having to do harambes. Last but not least, under Kimisitu Insurance, we also cover houses or properties. For buildings, we cover at only a premium of 0.125. So for those ones with buildings, with the residential or commercial properties, you can do quick calculation and see how affordable this product is. We can also cover the contents in your building at a premium of only 0.5%. And if this is a business entity which has got people working in it, we also offer all risk at only 1.5%. So we will look at some of the partnerships that Kimisitu Sacco has. And currently we have 5 partnerships that are ongoing. Number 1, we have the Merida Motors partnership. So basically what this partnership is about is to allow our members to be able to avoid any hassles if they want to buy a motor vehicle. It could be you want to buy a vehicle locally or you want to import. So we are going to cut the cost because you're not going through a dealer. So going through the Sarco directly to Merida Motors, we are going to reduce the cost and all the hassle for importation. Number 2, we have a partnership with Cusco, which is basically what I've talked about. The funeral expense cover is offered by Cusco currently. Number 3, we have a partnership members with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. And why we have this partnership or the benefits of this partnership is we will be able to accord our members investment opportunities. So we have an expo that is upcoming in Dubai. It will be starting in October. We will be communicating to the members for the available opportunities in trade and business. So that is the benefit of this partnership. We also have a partnership with the Mabati Rolling Mills, whereby our members can be able to access affordable building iron sheets. And because they have infrastructure across the country, they can be able to deliver to your construction site. Last but not least, under the partnerships, we have partnered recently with Skiza Tunes. So our members, you all know Skiza Tunes. I know some of you have Skiza Tunes, that ringback tune that entertains your callers when they call you. So instead of marketing other brands, we are saying that we are going to have a specific tune for Kimisitu Sacco, which when your friends or your colleagues or your family calls you, they'll be able to appreciate that you are in Kimisitu Sacco. So we will be communicating the details about this partnership. So as we conclude, we have different social media pages. We are active on all social media pages. We are on Facebook at Kimisitu Sacco. We are on Twitter at Kimisitu Sacco. We are on Instagram at Kimisitu_Sacco. We are also on LinkedIn at Kimisitu Sacco Ltd. We are also on YouTube. For those who follow our YouTube TV, every Thursday we go live. We are on YouTube as Kimisitu Sacco. So we urge you to explore these platforms to reach us. We are very interactive on the social media pages, so you can reach us. You can drop your questions and we can have a chat. The other thing we want to look at is the call center. So members, we have a very important tool at the call center, which is called an IVR. So IVR basically is an interactive voice response machine, which basically gives you voice prompts. So if you're looking for a simple process, like how to join the Sarco, how to register for mobile banking, you don't need to speak to an agent for such simple procedures, or how to make payment, how to apply for a loan. You can, we urge you members to explore this, this platform to be able to get services instead of waiting to speak to us. The other thing is the members portal. So you can explore the members portal to access all your account information, whether it's the loans or the savings accounts that you have. You can pull your own statements. You can track your own progress as a member. You can also confirm your guarantorship information. And most importantly, you need to confirm your details. So as a member, I know some of you have been asking, I'm not getting a message from Kimisitu Sacco. So log into the portal, confirm your details, and reach us whenever you think the details are not correct. So some of the communication channels that we use to reach out to you is through the text. Like I'm sure you've received a text today to remind you to join. We have email communication. We have the social media, which I've talked about, and we have call center. So one thing to note, members, we've realized that some of you are not getting our SMSs and our emails. And by digging deeper, we found out that you might, knowingly or unknowingly, have blocked notifications from the Sarco. So this will be to your disadvantage because you will not be able to get any alerts from the Sarco, and such great events might pass you. So we urge you to check your texts, check your emails, check our social media pages, and utilize these platforms. As I conclude, we usually do conduct surveys every month. We do Kimisitu customer satisfaction surveys. We urge you members to ensure that you participate by giving us feedback so that we can be able to improve where we need to improve, or we can continue doing whatever we are doing well. Thank you so much, members.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan, for that educative session. I hope and believe, members, that we are taking notes. And again, I know again that it's mouthful. So basically, we'll also be sharing the materials of today's education day with you after the session. So again, we thank you for your patience. We have close to 900 members who are actually online. Again, just to remind you that we can share our questions on Q&A session so that we can be able to respond to them in real time. So we've heard about, we've also seen a request for chairmans that we need to, members need more information on the chairmans and corporate. So again, we'll actually ensure that we have another session where we can actually have more discussions and more interactive discussion on the issue of chairman membership and also for the corporate membership. So again, as highlighted, is that sometimes we have a challenge communication with our members because unknowingly, just as Jonathan has mentioned, you'll actually have blocked us on email and also blocked us on phone. So it becomes a bit of a challenge at some point for you to get updates in terms of what is going on. So again, on our social media channels, we'll just want to urge you to like our pages, subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that again, as we disseminate this information, we actually able to get first-hand information without any struggle. So I think that was that. And then I'll also want to mention on the insurance agency, where we actually offering insurance agency services. And we are doing this for free. We are not charging you for offering you this service. So again, could be you are in employment or you are not in employment and you want to have your medical, you want to be covered. So we can actually be able to negotiate for you or with an insurance company to ensure that you are actually covered. Again, for your car, you don't have to worry about it. We even have a product. We even cover car loan insurance loan that we can actually give you, which are not charging any interest for you to be able to insure your car. So we take charge of that. In case you want to make any claim, you leave that for us to follow up at no cost. So I think, again, that's why we are trying to say that we want to be a one-stop shop. So it's important that we actually patronize these products and also enjoy the convenience. So we are moving to the next presenter. We'll request for your patience. we almost done. And again, we didn't want to rush it because we think this is quite important for our members. One of our key pillars is on innovation and technological advancement. And with that, we are moving towards self-service, whereby you don't have to incur any cost. You don't have to take any time calling the office, for some basic services. You can actually do it from the comfort of your home or wherever you are without really actually incurring additional cost to call and also the time that will require you. So again, we talked about paperless office, where again, that is where we are moving to. I mentioned about the challenges that we had with the Ussd at the beginning of the year, but again, we are piloting our own, which will be up at most in the next 2 weeks. So again, we'll get that highlight in terms of that. Shoulder of solace, please, I failed to mention it. It's actually quite important that we cover ourselves, and some of these things will also be mentioned when we'll be presenting the personal finance management. So with this, allow me to welcome our ICT manager, Henry Abea, who will actually take us through alternative payment channels. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you, members. My name is Henry Abea. I'm in charge of ICT. I'll be taking us through the alternative channels that we have. It is a short session, but quite elaborate. You're welcome. Let me. As the CEO mentioned, we are looking into ATM functionality. We are piloting on our ATM channel, which we are closing in the next week. We are also doing our Ussd and mobile app functionalities. We are closing on piloting of the same, which are actually closed last week. And I'm going to dwell on the Ussd and mobile app and the ATM functionality. For the online loan application process, that was already covered. Why do we want to give more channels to our members? Because we want to ensure that members are able to get services 24/7, wherever and whenever they are, by giving you the channels that you can transact on, the ATM, the mobile banking, we have the Ussd and even the app, so that you're able to access your funds whenever and anytime you need. We also want to give you these channels because we are moving into a paperless world, where initially people used to fill papers for them to get their funds, but now you need to transact, get your funds from the comfort of your sitting room while you're on the road. So you don't need to get into paperwork for you to access your funds. We also want to give you control over your funds, in that you're able to check your balances anytime. You're able to plan because you're able to know what balances you have anytime you want to transact. And even as you transact, you're able to get feedback on what amounts you still have in your accounts. We also want to give you safety. We want to ensure safety of your funds, and that you're able to secure the funds for you at the organization. We are implementing security services and platforms so that we are able to guarantee safety and even security of the member funds. On the Ussd, some of the menus and menus that you'll be able to interact with, you will have a menu that is about your account. You'll be able to check loan balances. You'll be able to check your savings balances, your accounts at the Fossa. You're able to check those balances. You're also able to check mini statements. You're able to see what previous 6 transactions, for example, you've done. We have also integrated that Ussd and app to M-Pesa. So you will be able to deposit to your accounts. Note that this is a real-time posting that we are looking at. Under the Ussd, you'll be able to go and select you want to deposit to your accounts. The system will be able to populate what accounts you have. For example, little angel account, you have M-Wallet. So you'll be able to select that account and put the amount that you want to go to that account. And this will be posted instantly. We've implemented something called a push that will be able to make you go directly to M-Pesa from the USSD. Once you put the amount, it will take you to that USSD for you to post, for the system to post that amount. You're also able to deposit from M-Pesa to your loans. The system will be able to give you the loans that you have. And you're also able to do a lump sum post to your accounts. The system will check on what is needed for that month. For example, for a development loan, what will be needed for that month for another loan. So the system will take the amount meant for that period, the interest, and then post accordingly to each of the loans. Any excess amount that you might probably have input will go back to your Fossa account for you to be able to access that at your own time. You'll be able also to transfer from Fossa. You'll be able to transfer from your accounts to other accounts within the Sarco that you are running. You'll also be able to transfer to other members in that I want to transfer money to member X who I am owing something. So I'll input their ID number, and that amount will be automatically transferred from my account to their account. You'll also be able to get funds from your Fossa to your M-Pesa. And this is one of the items that we want to avail, considering we have another platform that we are currently running. So our main platform that we're coming up with is going to be the main one, and the current will be a backup plan. You're also able to transfer to loans from your Fossa account to your loans. And of course, as I said, you will also be able to transfer as lump sum. We will also be integrating with the bank for ability for members to be able to transfer funds from their Fossa to their various bank accounts through NCB account. You'll be able to do EFT transfers. You'll be able to do RTGS transfers. You'll also be able to do PesaLink to other banks. And of course, you'll be able to apply for mobile loans through that platform. You'll be able to check for your loan eligibility. You'll do a request, and you will be able to do a loan repayment. You'll also be able to do bill payments, in that you'll be able to pay for your GoTV, for your DSTV. You'll be able to buy airtime. You'll be able to pay for KPLC directly from your Fossa account to those bills. So that is an integration that we've already achieved. And once you roll out, we'll be able to enjoy that. And as I said earlier, you'll be able to do mini statements. And of course, you'll be able to change your passwords. What I'm displaying is a landing page of our mobile app that we've done in-house. So you'll just input your phone number and your password, and you'll be able to log in. And if you've not already activated, you'll just be clicking on the activate account. Once we roll out, we'll be able to send this information for ease of enrollment. On the USSD, the menus that I already spoke about, they're displayed there under my account. You'll be able to check on, do some inquiries on that. You'll be able to change your PIN. Number two, you'll be able to transfer from Fossa to your accounts, to other members. You'll be able to deposit from Pesa to your accounts. You'll be able to do bill payments, as I said, and mobile loans as well. The next, that page is showing the interface of our mobile app that we will be launching. So under my account, as I said, under the USSD, it has the same functionality. You'll be able to transfer from Fossa, deposit from M-Pesa, transfer to bank. You do mobile loans, bill payments, and even mini statements. ATM, we have partnered with the Coop Bank to avail ATM cards to our members. And as I said, we are in the final stage of piloting this. And a few of our test cards have been availed, and we've done transactions. And this is already something we are closing on. And once it's rolled out, you'll be able to apply for those cards and be able to receive them. What is important to note is that under ATM functionality, you'll be able to transact on Coop ATM branded ATM machines. You'll do POS transactions under agent, merchant, and Coop branches. The cards are also Visa branded, in that you'll be able to do Visa transactions. Under ATM, the list shows what functionalities you can be able to achieve on an ATM card. You'll be able to do a balance inquiry. You'll do cash withdrawal at the ATM. You'll do balance after withdrawal and even before. You'll do cash deposit via agent. You'll also be able to do fund transfer. You'll also be able to do utility payments, that is KPLC. You'll also be able to do mini statements and achieve a PesaLink on the same. Point to note is that those that have highlighted, the ATM, the USSD, and the mobile app is what we are coming up with. We've closed pilot on 31st of May, and we are now finalizing on the issues that came up on pilot. And we want to close on that and be able to roll out this to members. One thing to note is just to expand the channels under which you are able to transact, give you the freedom of choice. You could decide to use the ATM card. You could decide to use the mobile app. You could decide to use the USSD, and know that we also have the currently running USSD and app. So we will have all these channels available to you so that you are able to access your funds anytime, anywhere you want. So we don't want to limit the accessibility of your funds. We want to give you the freedom of choice and even ease of access to your funds. So thank you, members, for that. And we highly anticipate your utilization of these channels once we roll out, and we'll be able to support each other and move the organization to a higher level. Thank you, and back to CEO.
Thank you, Henry, for that presentation on alternative channels that we have or that are on the pipeline. And again, I'd mentioned about our pillar on innovation and the technological advancement. And again, tied to it is the members delight. So again, our focus again is more on customer service. And that is why, again, every month we normally run a customer service survey just to ensure and also to get feedback from members in terms of some of the pain points that we have that we need to improve on. So again, that was a good presentation on that. We'll actually, as I mentioned, we'll actually be launching the USSD soon, in almost 2 weeks' time, and we'll actually be able to interact with it. We're currently doing piloting internally, and it's very interesting, and it really helps us in terms of the self-service and convenience. So again, we're having our last presentation, and this is a very important presentation on personal financial management. And this basically sums up what we've been presenting today. We'll actually be able to ask ourselves several questions as members. One, where we are today financially, where we want to go, and then if you know that, what do we do to actually be able to get there? How can we handle this? We'll actually be talking about the saving culture that we need to adopt. We'll be talking about our financial plans that we need to have, and also taking advantage of some of the products that are offered by Kimisitu to actually get us to help financial independence. Then there's Abraham Maslow came up with a theory on hierarchy of needs, and it actually defines our financial life. So we'll actually be able to look at that and see how that relates, right from the point where we are on the basic needs that we require, on the financial security, on the sense of belonging, and also self-actualization. And it will also be important to note that at some point you can get to self-action level because you are currently employed. So basically, what will happen if I'm not employed now? We'll actually get from I've actualized, but again drop back to the basic at the bottom of the pyramid again to start again. So again, maintaining at the level is also very important, and we'll also be discussing in terms of how we can actually also come up and have additional income that we can actually have from some of the side business that we can be doing, farming, we can, online trading, and so that now we can actually be able to ensure that we have alternative sources of income that will actually help us be stable financially and also gain financial independence. So allow me, without much ado, to welcome Bwana Geoffrey Makoa, who is our audit manager, who will actually be taking us through the personal financial management. Welcome, Geoffrey.
Thank you. Bwana CEO. Good morning, members. My name is Geoffrey Makoha. I'm the head of internal audit in your institution. Now, as part of our objectives today, I think you have dealt with about 4 or 3. Now, I want to share the final one, which is personal finance management. So allow me to share with you a presentation that will be in for our discussion so that we can see how best we can be able to move forward. Thank you. The first 3 objectives that have been shared with you, including access to credit, including repayment of the same, and including having an additional credit for the betterment of yourself. So Peter Drucker at some point said the best way to predict the future is to create it. But personal finance management in its definition is basically your income, expenses, savings, and investments. So today we are going to look at about 3 questions, which will sum up everything that we need to look at today in perspective of Kimisitu Sacco. The first question will be, where am I today? The second will be, where do I want to go? Then the third one will be, how do I get there? On where am I today? I think everyone has a way of looking at themselves. If you ask someone passing on the road, they will tell you, I'm here. If you call someone, they'll tell you they're even in Uganda, Somalia, Western, Mombasa, or so. In terms of this topic, personal finance management, specifically Kimisitu Sacco, how many structured loans do I have? How many do you have? Structured means, you know, the period, the repayment, you planned for it, you accessed credit and used it for that purpose. It's influencing your status as the owner of your own pocket and resources. Do you have a house or you are renting? We have looked at many products within Kimisitu Sacco. You have seen the influence of collateral when it comes to accessibility of credit, because now you will easily access the nature of credit that you need. You will be able to repay without interference to your deposits. How many sources of income do I have? Do you depend on salary alone? Do you do farming? Do you do simple manufacturing, even on bottled water and all that? What is my net worth? Net worth is basically the total assets minus the liabilities. It means your investments, including land, even your car, less depreciation, minus the loans that you owe, including those structured and unstructured, as I've mentioned before. So looking at that all together, and you have a net worth of, say, a deficit. If it's a deficit, then it means you are not able to finance yourself and your lifestyle. If it's a surplus, it means you are able to finance, but how are you going to sustain that? That is for today. What about tomorrow? Now, with that in position, where do I want to go? Where do you want to go? With the deficit or the surplus? First, let's look at the deficit. Basically, for you to finance some of your liabilities, you want to look for additional income. And you cannot look for additional income in terms of going for another loan. That will be another burden again to yourself. If you own a house, how best can you take it up so that night can change your perspective from just having it as a title document and now change it to an income generating. You can use it as a collateral. Either if it's of a high end, then you can rent it out and get an income. Of course, that is where we want to go. And personally, that's where I want to go. And if you're in Kimisitu Sacco, then we have products that will now lead you to where you want to go. Financial security and independence. With this, basically, we mean looking at yourself in perspective of you have a salary, you have other sources of income, and you have a home. How can you secure your deposits? Where are you saving? Are you going to Amazon, like what we have seen before, which is, I think, under investigation or something of that nature? Are you going to those short-term fraudulent savings plans that you want to save with? Now, that is what we want to change now. Now, how do I get there? When you want to reach somewhere, of course, you have to create a roadmap, and the roadmap has several ingredients. In this case, I will highlight a few, and of which we can use some other research and talk to us so that we can be able to guide you in perspective of Kimisitu Sacco, in that at the end of the day, we both benefit the institution and ourselves. The first one is financial discipline. Talking about financial discipline is basically your personal plan. Corporates do budgets. We can call it also a budget. Sometimes when it's the start of the year, people do resolutions. Next year, by this time, I'll do this, I'll do that. But we don't specifically account for the coins that we have, but it's coming in handy when we look at this. Live within your means. It's basically that. When you look at the hierarchy of needs that we will see below, then it will come in handy here because you cannot go to level 2 when you still have basic items or basic necessities that you have not achieved. Keep saving and creating an extra source of income. Basically is what something yearns for. And with the extra source of income, we spoke about real estates here through Makao Halisi. We have looked at other avenues like manufacturing. Currently, even we have small machines that can even manufacture tissue paper and all that. They are very much affordable, easy to move around with in case you want to relocate from where you are. Then borrow wisely. With Kimisitu Sacco, we're able to advise you according to the level of your income, but assume you want to go to those apps that are all over on the Play Store and be able to finance your day-to-day life. Of course, that will be unwise and you'll not be able to access credit even within Kimisitu Sacco. We always have these additional savings. We spoke about deficit and surplus. What about that surplus? Last year, for example, in COVID period, we had a case where we were not paying school fees in a period of about 8 months because children were at home. Now we had an extra income with us. What do we do with it? We were supporting other relatives. By then, either if they were in Nairobi or were visiting, they had to go back home. That extra income that we used to consume or expend on a few items here and there, what do we do with it? This is part of the issues that will enable you as an individual, for example, in 2021, to access more credit and do much of investments. Now, we are not forgetting those in business. Those in business, I think we have had a discussion here about Chama, corporate accounts. Of course, now currently, forming a company in Kenya is now easier. You don't need to visit Nairobi, but you can do it online. You have a company, you become a corporate. It has directors. It's a business. You do supplies. What best are you doing with it if you have resources, including motor vehicles and what have you? We have insurance agency, and Kimisitu Sacco is able to get you to where you want to go. Now, if we look at this hierarchy of needs, that discussion of the 3 questions basically falls within this. Now, if you are under these basic needs, under the basic needs, we are looking at food, water, and shelter first. Then the next level is security and safety. So if you don't have the basic needs, you don't have shelter, you don't know where you'll get food tomorrow, you have no idea of where you will sleep, it will be impossible for you to move further and meet friends under psychological needs. So basically, Kimisitu Sacco is here to do for you and to work for you. On all basic needs, I think we can be able to have you get a good home. We're able to have security for you because of the nature of a home, and location will be much safe. So if you are currently at self-fulfillment level, that is self-actualization, you'll notice that one has a lot of full potential, creative ideas here and there, but you cannot pass any stage here and be at that level and be comfortable. Now, under the investor's life cycle, you can see, for example, between the level of the baby up to school, we can call it university. Notice we are supported, either parents, relatives, charitable organizations, but at position 5, this is where we are, and mainly all of us. The statistics with us shows that majority of our members are between 25 and below 50. So it's active working life. Now, how do we convert this into wealth that will see you play golf at the time when you are now retired and you are within your sunset years? The answer is still with us, and this is what we want to solve in today. Now, let's take home this. Our take home, very simple, clear, and this presentation, by the way, it's very short and clear, and if we follow it through, then we can ask questions either to ourselves or you can reach us. Monthly budget, and what do we do with those resolutions? What portion of your income are you ready to save today? Do you have other savings other than deposits at the Sarco? We have spoken about Fossa. We have spoken about many savings products within Kimisitu Sacco and how they work for you, because at the end of the day, you'll be able to get dividends and interest on those deposits at the end of the year. Despite you saving for a short period of time, it accumulates into income for the institution. So let's convert this and move together so that instead of leaving your money in banks, fix it for 3 months with us. Then I think we can be able to look at that. So do you have additional sources of income? I think we have chamas here. We have positions where we can take individually and in groups. Have you subscribed to benevolent fund or any other insurance? Basically, this is like a resilience program that will give you a buffer at the time of need. Like we have seen the trend, when someone passes on, we go on and, for example, have to contribute even more than 500,000 or 1 million just to finance either the burial or medical bills and all that. Now, this benevolent fund, like Shoulder of Solace with us, it's of various categories, and I think members can wake up and look at it so that we don't have to worry every time we are living on Earth. Do you own assets? With assets, we mean, in this case, a house, a motor vehicle, where we can get that title document and now convert it to be your support at the time of need for guarantors. I think there is a lot of cry about guarantors and all that. So look at it from a perspective of not a consuming economy, but the other economy where now tomorrow you can have an assurance. Then what will happen if you lose employment today? Kimisitu Sacco is depending on you. You have a loan and we expect repayment. There's a guarantor who guaranteed you. That person expects the deposit to be safe because of the trust on you. So these are some of the questions that all of us should go through. And then at the end of the day, we'll be able to avoid the question of how are you going to protect us and our other investments. So we encourage you to invest with us. We are still your partner. We'll forever be your partner. Do it when you have capability and capacity. Thank you very much, members, and welcome once more again.
Thank you. Thank you, Geoffrey, for that brief but comprehensive presentation on personal financial management. As members, again, and also as investors, this is key. And from what we looked at the pyramid, we looked at we come from the basic need at the bottom of the pyramid, and all of us want to get to self-actualization at the top of the pyramid. So again, for us to get at the top there, I think what has been shared is what we need to do. There are going to be, or there must be a lot of financial sacrifices that we must make at this point for us to be able to get up there and also be able to sustain it at that particular level. So again, he mentioned something on manufacturing, and what he clearly said is that current manufacturing is unlike the old school manufacturing where you require so many big machines. You realize nowadays you can get smaller machine to produce a product that you can actually have there in the market. So again, he also mentioned about the online business that you can actually be able to do. And for manufacturing, I think for some of the affordable products that we have can easily help or provide capital for us to be able to do this. And all these are doable. We can actually do them. And again, the issue that also came up was that if I lose my employment today, what is going to happen? Am I going to fall from the self-actualization to again below the pyramid level where we're talking about the basic needs? So it's actually important again and again, as we grow up, we have different needs that we will need. So it's important that we make some sacrifices early. Are we able to own a property? I'll be taking loans, but at least I know I have an asset there that can cover it in case there's anything. I also know that I'm covered through insurance medically, because we all know that, again, it's very difficult, or rather the medical bills are quite high. So again, you have the challenge of a financial constraint when you have a loved one, or if you fall sick and you do not have a cover. So again, those are some of the things that you need to have in place. We know, again, when in business, it's also it's also risky. Business is also risky, so it's actually important. Anything that you can actually take insurance on is good to do that, so that you mitigate any risk that will likely to happen. So I want to thank you, members, for your patience, and I'm glad that over 800 members are still here. At the beginning of the session and in the middle of the session, we actually asked that you could share your questions on the Q&A session. We've had so many of them coming in. We've responded to some. I know we may not be able to respond to all of them, but we'll actually be able to do that and share probably by next week some of the things that actually come up. We'll also be able to share the presentations that we've had today. And also, we've also noted some of the areas that we'll actually be doing monthly presentation on. We'll actually be inviting you. For those who are interested for the webinars, those interested in particular topics can actually join us for more detailed and more information and more interactions. So at this point, we'll move to the Q&As. We'll want to request call-ins. Members will actually call in. We could take the first, because again, we're running out of time. We will take the first 5 questions, and I have a panel with me here who will actually be able to respond to the questions that we actually have. So members, you can raise your hand, and once you raise your hand, we'll let you ask your question. You can tell us your name and a member number, and then you can shoot your question. So thank you very much. Because of time, I think we'll begin. So we can raise our hands. I can see Anne Mulwa, hand is up. Anne, you can go ahead. So as we wait for Anne, we have Esther. Esther, can you hear us? Thank you, members. I will want to, as we wait for the questions to come, I'll want to invite Abelida, just from the questions that were coming on chat, if she can add something, there's something that she can add on some of the questions that were coming on chat as we wait for the call-ins to come in. Karibu, Abelida.
Thank you, members. Yes, we have looked at a few questions that have come in, some specifically on the Fossa operations. And I can see there's interest on how to open the accounts, how to make deposits, and on how to withdraw from these accounts. In particular, the Fossa savings account, and also in particular the M-Wallet account, savings account. So for Fossa savings account, we said it's a mandatory account for all members. So any new member joining, they get the account, just as well as they get the share capital account and the member deposits account. But for existing members who do not have Fossa savings account yet, you log into the member portal, go to my profile, then under my profile, there's accounts, view the Fossa account, and then at that point, update the photo, update signature, and update any other information that may need to change, and then submit for approval. And you mentioned for M-Wallet, simply deposit into that account. Then how do I withdraw from this account after it has matured? Basically, you go back to the same mobile platform and ask to withdraw from the M-Wallet account, and you'll be able to access those funds. There was a question on how the new Ussd is going to, make it easier for members to withdraw and deposit funds. First, on withdrawal, we do realize that Safaricom had charges for depositing, and also when the amounts reflect on our accounts, there are charges that were pertaining to that. Now, those charges will no longer be there. The deposits you make into the accounts will reflect as you deposit it. So if you have deposited 200, in actual sense, 200 will be reflecting in your accounts. So at least the new Ussd will bring that convenience. Then the other convenience is that, of course, now, since we have our own Ussd, there will be no third party involved, and therefore the charges for withdrawals will come slightly down, and even the turnaround time for transaction will be shorter. You'll be able to get your funds faster, and therefore more convenient and more reliable. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Belinda. Catherine, if there's something that you want to add.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you, members. You've seen a number of questions on chat, and we responded also to a number. And most of the interest was on the GLL guarantor liability loan, which we have reviewed, and also the question of what is the Sacco doing to mitigate on default. And what I can say is that we, in terms of appraisal, that's why it meant that during appraisal, we have to ensure that the employer confirms. We have to ensure that the person meets all the requirements for the loan, so that the loan is not defaulted at the point of application. So even when you apply for a loan and you find that you are really asking a lot of things, kindly note it is the due diligence that you're doing to ensure that the loan is good and will be paid until the end. And also in terms of communication, with the enhanced communication that we brought on board, and also in terms of the automation, in terms of the SMSs to be automatic. This is also to prompt people, because I know some of our members also have facilities elsewhere. And you'll find that if the communication doesn't go quickly, you find that somebody will give priority to other financial institutions. So you want Kimisitu to be the first institution that somebody thinks about. Also in terms of members' communication to us, just to inform us, to give us feedback, especially of those whom they've guaranteed. Because through the web portal, you can also be able to see your guarantors and see the last day payment. And based on that, we expect also you to query. In case you see this is June, and you see the person whom you guaranteed last paid in March. As a guarantor, you also have a duty. We have to respond if we query, how come this loan is not being paid? So that also we welcome new members to query anything that you feel. Then in terms of loan application, delays are usually caused by lack of submission, lack of bringing the required documents, as well as in terms of CRB listing. You did need to be, your character must be clear for you to get a loan. So look and ensure that in terms of the loans that you take elsewhere, even these mobile loans, we have instances where a member has a phone and has a house phone. Then you find that the house phone, which is registered under the member, maybe it's with the house help, they take a facility without the member knowing, only for them to come and apply for a loan and they tell them you've been listed, you have 2,000 shillings, which has not been paid for a long time. So I would urge you also to be checking on your status from time to time to ensure that you don't find yourself on that side. And especially at that moment, you really need money. You find that you've been listed and you don't know why and how. So it's prudent that as members, you take care of any fund that is registered under your name and ensure that any loan that is taken through it will fall under you. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine, and thank you once again, members. I think we are coming to the tail end. And I would want to, before I take the opportunity of welcoming the chair to give us a vote of thanks. We have a sister company, Kimisitu Investment Company Limited. And again, we also, our members are also part of the shareholders for KICL. I will just give them a minute just to 2 minutes to run us through some of the products they're also offering. After which the chair will come in to give a vote of thanks, and then we'll close by a word of prayer.
Thank you, Mr. CEO, Mr. Lwanga. My name's Esther Ongera.
So as that comes up, I want to believe that we've learned a lot today, because I won't have another chance to address you members. I believe that we've learned a lot today, and what we'll be doing is that we'll be having this regularly for this training. And again, we'll be having targeted trainings for members to be able to join. So thank you very much, members, and thank you for your patience, and thank you for listening to us. We hope and believe that this was a learning and a great session to you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lwanga, our CEO. My name's Esther Ongera, General Manager at Kimisitu Investment. And as per the presentation that has been shared, we, as mentioned earlier by Mr. CEO, we are the sister company, Kimisitu PLC. sister company to the Kimisitu Sacco, and there are a number of products that, that we have for our members, which I believe are being projected by, which I think we can view. We have the Harmony Gardens currently that is running, and it is based at Kitengela. It is based at Kitengela. Kitengela, it's 3.4 kilometers from the Namanga Highway, which we have amenities. It is a gated community project. It's currently starting from a price of 1.38 million. With the Sacco members and the shareholders at the Kimisitu investment get privileged discounts. We also have the Kimisitu Olives that is located at Koma along Keno Highway, that is Koma Kenol Highway. All right, I can see that is the neighboring for, all right, let me just continue. We have the second project, which is along the Koma Kenol Highway in Kangundo, along Kangundo Road. The project is 200 meters from the Koma Kenol Highway, and also it is not more like a gated community, but it is fenced. It's a 10-acre project. Currently, it is 70% sold out. And also we are encouraging our members of the Sacco to also take advantage of the privilege prizes that we have for the members. And you are welcome to visit our offices. Our social pages are Kimisitu Investment, that is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can access us through the social pages. You can also reach us out on our contacts, which are also provided on the slides. That is our office lines, and we shall be able to share with you more information. And also, we have also weekly visits. If anyone is also interested to see any of these projects at your preferred time, you can reach us out on our lines or on our pages and just drop a message and give us your information. We shall be able to engage you and also to take you to the site visits, which you will prefer to view. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. CEO, for the opportunity, and we look forward to partnering with the members of the Sacco. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. CEO. Over to you.
Thank you very much, members, for having once again graced yet another education day for the year 2021. Mine is to give a vote of thanks. But before I do that, just a few comments from the chair's desk on matters that the board, together with the staff, felt was important that you are aware of. As you know, because of the unprecedented environmental scenario that we experienced last year, we are moving towards doing things or conducting businesses or our business operations in a new way. The last education day was a physical one. It was a physical meeting. So this is actually the first virtual education day that we have. And I want to appreciate the fact that members have graciously embraced this new way of doing things. And I want to also appreciate the fact that as we are progressing on, we will make this virtual environment better and better. And hopefully we will get into a place where we are very comfortable with it, both from the member side and also from us who organize such meetings. Remember, in as much as we have today as a specific education day, we will continually improve. So we are moving away from the traditional way of conducting our education days. Progressively, we will be having more frequent webinars, if we are all familiar with webinars, and we will be having it, say, once a month, and it will be very targeted on very targeted topics that would seek to empower the knowledge, or our members with the knowledge on issues that we feel that are important based on the feedback that we receive from you. So I'll repeat again, we are moving away from the traditional way that we conduct our education days. So in the near coming future, we will be doing more of webinars. So these webinars will most likely be conducted every month, and we'll be communicating effectively. And from these webinars, we'll have targeted topics from which we'll want to empower our members with knowledge so that they can better utilize the services that we provide as a Sacco. Einstein once said that the more we educate themselves, the more we educate ourselves, the more we become better and better. And education begins at birth and ends when you die. So we are saying we need to educate ourselves, we need to educate ourselves, we need to educate ourselves. We must never stop learning, in short. And therefore, even as we approach this new way of doing our education through webinars, we encourage our members to be fully in participation for these sessions. The more members attend the webinars from all over the world for the time that we will be conducting them, the better it will be, and the easier it will be for you to consume both our products and services in an easy way. So that is the point that I think was important from the boards and the chair's desk. Members, today, you are our biggest brand ambassadors. I know that the directors are your ambassadors, the staff as well, and the institution as a unit are your ambassadors. But our biggest ambassadors are the membership. So I want to encourage our members to talk about Kimisitu wherever they are, particularly on social media. I think in the last AGM, I emphasized on this, that our members are not on social media. Our members are not following us on Twitter. They're not viewing our YouTube pages. They're not following us on Instagram. They're not following us on LinkedIn. They're not following us on Facebook. Kimisitu is on all these platforms. And the main reason we note that the members are not following us is that the members themselves don't have Twitter accounts, they don't have Instagram accounts, and they don't have Facebook accounts, not all of them. So we are saying as a membership, we must move into the digital era, into the social media era, where the way to become the best brand ambassador for your Sacco, and you're the owners of the Sacco, is by having these accounts and subscribing to the Kimisitu social media accounts. So that whenever Kimisitu tweets, whenever Kimisitu posts something on Facebook or on Instagram, you get it immediately on your phone. And you're able to tell a friend who is able to tell a friend. And if you know how Twitter works, when you get it and you retweet, everyone who follows you or everyone who at least gets some tweets from you every once in a while will get the message. So imagine if we have over 8,000 active accounts following Kimisitu Sacco. Within one day, one tweet can generate thousands and thousands of tweets from you, the members. And I'm not just talking about social media. Word of mouth is also important. If one member can dedicate themselves to recruit one person every month, at least one person every month, then within no time, Kimisitu shall have grown within a month to 16,000, within 2 months to 24,000, within 3 months to 30,000. Why am I emphasizing on this? I'm emphasizing on this because I want the membership to own up to the fact that you are our biggest brand ambassadors. Let us grow Kimisitu. Let us move Kimisitu to the level where we have a brand presence, not just in the country, but globally. So this is a task that not only us have as directors or the staff has, but this is the task that we must undertake as members as well. Finally, I want to thank the team, the secretariat, together with the board of directors who organized this education day. I think it has been fairly successful. The virtual presence is a new place we are moving into. Over time, we are getting it better. We are getting better and better in doing it. If you recall, the first time we had a virtual experience, things did not go very well, but we thank God that we are improving, and as time goes by, we will perfect it. I also want to thank the members for having taken time to attend this session. I'm told that we are over, how many? We are over 900 who have attended this session. And that is very encouraging to me. That shows me that the board made the right decision to invest in some of the facilities that we put in place to ensure that these virtual meetings or virtual sessions are successful. I also want to take note that this is something that this time we've conducted ourselves as Kimisitu Sacco. We've not contracted anyone to do it for us. So I'm very much encouraged about that, and we are getting better and better at it. And we hope that soon we will become accustomed to doing things this way. I also want to thank the other partners, such as KICL, for having participated in this education day. As you know, Kimisitu Investment PLC is our investment wing. They have products, they have services that they also offer. So do make a point of looking at their portfolio and see what fits you. And I would encourage you also to partake their products. Last but not least, I want to thank the Almighty God. For without him, we will not be here. Without him, we will not be in a position to empower our membership. Without him, we will not have been sustained through the pandemic. And in as far as I'm concerned, we have done fairly well, despite the constant environmental challenges that we've experienced. Even as we are doing things in what we call the new norm environment, God has been with us. God has been faithful. So I want to dedicate Kimisitu Sacco and the membership and the staff and the board at large to him, and give a special thanks. And I pray that he may continue sustaining us as an institution, that we may progress well as we expect to. Thank you very much, members. That will be all from the chair's desk. I want to welcome, even as we close, Director Margaret, who will pray for us and also dedicate the membership to the hands of God, and also wish the membership well, even as we progress on. So see you from my desk, see you in the next webinar. And I hope we will be having more and more people attending as time goes by. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, members. My name is Margaret Wanjiro, and I will go directly into praying, but I wanted to read two scriptures. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 20 and 21 says, I always do what is right. I give great riches to everyone who loves me. Proverbs 13, verse 11 says, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. So we pray that we will all gather using our labor, and the Lord is going to bless us. And let us pray. Our Father and our God, in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for an opportunity for us to learn. We want to thank you because you have said that we ask of wisdom and you'll give it to us, Lord. And we want to thank you, my Father, for giving us life. And above all, we want to thank you for the gift of health. We do not take it for granted that, Lord, you have seen us through very tough times in this season. And we want to thank you as the Kimisitu fraternity, Lord. We want to bless you for our members. We want to thank you for the diligence they have, Lord, even as they labor and as they put their savings and watch over their resources, my Father. We want to thank you because you're the one who gives us the ability to make wealth. We also want to thank you for the Secretariat, Lord, for their labor and their toil day by day, Lord, trying to be great stewards of the resources that are put in the Sarco. We want to thank you for the board as they deliberate and as they work on ensuring that we keep on track with the strategic plan and every other idea, Lord, and keeping the Sarco afloat and moving to greater heights. We thank you that, Father, you continue to give them wisdom and understanding and knowledge. And Lord, we pray that you will inspire them even to make Kimisitu great, to take us to the next level. We thank you for everyone who's been able to be on this webinar. We want to thank you for those who are unable to attend, Lord. All in all, we want to thank you. And above all, we also want to thank you for this nation of Kenya, because, Lord, we know that we can thrive in this nation if there is peace and tranquility. We give you praise and we give you honor, Lord. Even for today and the rest of the day, we ask that you guide us and that you watch over us. Bless the work of our hands, we pray. And above all, Lord, we pray for our families, that you keep us safe, that you continue to give us good health, because we know that health is wealth. We pray this, trusting and believing in Jesus' name. Amen.